Hi, I'm Sharyn Sowell, and I live in rural Washington State, and I'm one of the licensed designers with Spellbinders. And I think I'm kind of unusual in that you know what most die cutting machines are like, but this is my die cutting machine. So what I do is cut a single sheet of paper freehand with a scissor, and then I scan it and we turn it into a die so that you can reproduce it exactly the same as my hands did. And so I like lines that aren't straight. I like things that feel like more organic. So this is how I poke my scissors in, and
But not right now because
it's kind of unusual, I think. I don't know anybody else who does this. I don't draw a line first. I am drawing with my scissors. And it's just really authentic and heartfelt for me. So every design I do is like my real life. So this is my studio, and the plants that grow around in my garden. So everything I do is really authentic, my own neighbors and loved ones, and yeah, the birds that sit in my cherry tree, just like really authentic life. And so all of my dies are like to celebrate the love that we share with our friends and our family. And I just really believe that all life is just crammed, the whole world is just crammed full of miracles, and that there's just so much to celebrate about every day, like the wind in your hair, or the way the grass grows and bends when the rain hits it. It's just, life is just really full of beauty. So my dies celebrate those everyday minutes and moments. One thing about, as you see what I've cut out by my hands, so I'm all about the shapes and about the die cuts. So most of my dies are sort of almost standalone, so everything's really simple. So for me, I love to party a lot. I throw lots of picnics in my garden, and my neighbors and I press cider every fall, and we celebrate the tulips in our rural valley. So my dies, I'll just show you real quick.
Yeah, come over.
My dies, oh thanks, my dies tend to stand on their own. So for me, I don't really spend a lot of time on each card or project I'm making, because the die itself will be the focus, and I can make things very, very quickly. So like this, just a simple circle and a foil hot pressed with a glimmer plate. That's all you need. This is a 5-minute project. So everything, here again, another glimmer plate. It's very, very fast. Just a simple sheet of paper, but it looks so fancy. It looks like you spent a lot of time with it. And then I'm as thrifty with my materials as I am with my time. So this illustrates like how, okay, I love paper, and you probably do too. So if you have favorite papers, we just pressed this out of a bunch of different colors and hung on to all the little scraps, and we just inserted the scraps in. This one does take a little bit of extra time, but I love layering, so we tend to layer a lot with the little foamy pieces behind and so forth. And then another way that we layer is by using bits of the die and combining it in different ways, and layering one on top of the other. And you can kind of see on this piece how it's really simple, it's really fast, but layering and a little bit of glitter and bingo. And then all these dies tend to have multiple functions. So while I'm showing it to you in a card, I actually cut these pieces out of Wilton sugar sheets, fondant, and frosted a really simple layer cake, and then I have these characters going around the sides of the cake. This is so simple, but it's fun to have your party kind of match. So then I also did a really simple plain band and did a birthday hat by cutting these characters out and sticking on that really simple paper band. Oh my gosh, it was so cute. Not that I should say that about my own work, but yeah, it was. And then a lot of things that we have, I designed so that it can be used multiple ways. This one we did for a birthday, but I am really thrifty, so I'm thinking already like this little banner here would be great for 4th of July too, cut out in red, white, and blue, and it's just kind of fun. I have a letterpress printing press, and so this is a French font that I printed and used as inspiration for a hand cut font. But look how the layers, like, it's so simple. There again, we just cut it out of different colors and threw this together in probably less than 10 minutes. Just fun to have something that looks like you spent a lot more time than you actually did. This one is another really fun idea. This collection is called Happy, and I think it does feel really happy. This piece, in addition to being used, as you see here, for gift wrap, I used it for napkin rings and just didn't cut the lettering out. I just cut out the basic banner, and a lot of these dies are super flexible that way, so these are all different pieces that you can combine in all different ways. So I've also used just the part that you see like there and made that into place cards so that everybody's name was written here. And then at the same party, I also didn't include the words on that. I used it as name tags because everybody did not know each other in that group. So, I mean, I think it's kind of fun that you can use things in all different ways. I really, I love to use a die in multiple ways. I would never purchase a die that I can't use different ways. So, personally, that's how mine all are. Another thing I love to do, and this one will show you. Okay, so my roses were at the end of the season, and Queen Anne's lace, which is really a weed, I picked a bunch of weeds to make a bouquet. So then I gave it to my friend as a birthday gift, and it inspired this glimmer plate for metallic. But I didn't have a card that would fit this just right. But guess what I did have? I had one of Becca Feacon's dies, and this just shows how whatever you have in your stash, just use it all together, and they combine really nicely. So all the different Spellbinders dies can be just combined together, so just to use what you have. Another one that I think is really special is this right here. Now we put Sending Love in the middle, but you could easily, these are two separate glimmer plates, and you could use them on their own or together. But sometimes I just want to send a little message of hope or thankfulness or whatever. So you can combine whatever words you want with the different glimmer plates. But again, this was less than a 5-minute project because we just threw this base on, added the glimmer plate, and we're done. And it's, if you're like me, you might have like to keep a stash of cards, and if you like to keep a stash, it's really fun to have pieces that go all different ways. So that's just kind of a quick sample. I want you to feel though like that when I cut my paper freehand, I am thinking of you most sincerely, and I hope that you feel that warm friendship when you use the dies and glimmer plates that we have out from Spellbinders, and I would love to see what you make with them. So if you use any of these dies, just tag Scrap Time on Instagram, hashtag Scrap Time, try hashtag Spellbinders, and hashtag Sharyn Sowell, that's me with a Y, and I will personally respond to you because it is between you and me. So thank you.